Tell me about important Black history lesson in school. I'll go first. 7th grade. Our social studies teacher, Ms. Faye Ragsdale Hussey, had our entire class watch the entire Eyes on the Prize series. I know the one thing we did right, hey, was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on, hold on. I must tell you, even though I'd heard about tidbits of what had gone on my whole life from family, about 7th grade, so what does that make me? 13 years old, 12, 13 years old. Luckily, we went to an integrated school. And I say that weirdly because in the 80s, you think, oh, weren't all schools integrated? No, they're still not. But my school was. And so luckily, I had foundational friendships across different races. I was mad. I was heated. It wasn't just the part about Emmett Till. It was on, and it was relentless amount of hatred and violence and ghosting us. And remember, this was the 80s. We didn't even have the word ghosting back then. But to have this white woman value this experience so much and the fortitude to show us and to make us sit down, kids, to watch this, I don't think they do that now, especially not to kids in that age. It would be called CRT, and she would be called a woke liberal trying to indoctrinate us into radical leftist ideology, which is exactly what happened. I would call her a woke liberal, and I would say that if someone like DJT wants to call us woke or radical, fine. But what it did do is we had to sit with those uncomfortable feelings and say to ourselves, what are we going to do with this? Like, what are we going to do? Because we were Emmett Till's age when we were watching this stuff. He was 14 years old in school in Chicago, and he went down south for the summer. And there were so many youth involved in the civil rights movement. When by the time we got to Birmingham, they bombed the 16th Street Baptist Church. And so this was all kids appropriate material. You really have to be a dedicated teacher to say, we are going to do this. And that probably changed my life. And even though I had this anger, and that anger was like, we joked about it as a Black kids, like we should have a white person talk to us for the rest of the day.